Well, 2024 was certainly a year in Eurovision, wasn't it? Hi guys, and welcome back to ESC Harry, or should I say for many of you actually, welcome to ESC Harry. For those who are not aware, this is a slight revamp of a channel that I previously had called ESC HCB. That channel was more ranking stuff, you know, just music video after music video after music video. This one's going to be more piece to camera stuff where you can see my lovely face and see how I operate as a person. Just to clarify, don't comment below saying it's not a lovely face. I'm sure if you don't think that, you've clicked off already. So for those who are still here, I'm glad you think I have a lovely face. In the first couple of videos of this revamp of a channel as such, I wanted to show off what kind of content I want to produce on this channel going forward. Just a little flavor of bits and bobs here and there. And one of the things I want to do, which I'm going to do today, is something that has never been seen before. It is unique, completely out of the box, a reaction video. Boring! Yes, I know, boring reaction video, yada, yada, yada. Everyone's done them before. Move on, shush. The reason I'm doing this reaction video is simple. For those who are not aware, a couple days ago, I released a video called Every Country's Reaction to Eurovision 2024. Now, if you have not seen that video...
Are you insane? Have you lived under a rock?
No, but in all seriousness, it's only just been out a couple days ago. But for those who are not aware, that is more like a comedy sketch thing. I want to do some comedic stuff on this channel, some sketches, not necessarily reflecting my own thoughts on the contest. Meanwhile, I feel like this video here, a reaction style, will let the audience in, you guys in, a little bit more into my own personal taste in Eurovision. And what better way to do that than to react to Eurovision 2024, the results of the contest that just happened less than a week ago at this point in Malmö. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be reacting to the results from Eurovision 2024, plus maybe giving a couple insights from my time in Malmö. For those who didn't know, I was in Malmö for the contest this year. So maybe giving a bit of more depth, more examples of experiences I have with these songs, of course. And yeah, just a bit of flavor for my personal taste when it comes to Eurovision, if you don't necessarily know. Maybe if you do know, you can just come here for my reaction, whatever suits your boot. Suits your boot? That's not a phrase. But before we get into the main video, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel of ESC Harry, just so you don't miss another one of these videos. I'm sure a few more of these are going to be coming out. And as I mentioned before, if you haven't watched it already, please go and watch the Every Country's Reaction to Eurovision 2024. Trust me, a lot more effort went into that video as opposed to this simple reaction one. So without further ado, let's hit play on the video now. So I'm using Alan Torres's video for this. Shout out to him for allowing me to use this. The clips can be short points, so I might pause it here and there. Right, so up first, obviously, we've got the Netherlands, which were disqualified. I'll try and keep this as objective as possible just on the song. I'll be honest, not for me personally. Oh God, this is... Oh, I'm gonna need to pause it here. I'm gonna need to pause it here. There's a bit more to talk about. I won't pause it for everyone, but Netherlands, there is a bit more to talk about. Keeping it as objective as possible, because I'm not going to go into the reason it was disqualified or anything like that. For me, I never clicked with the song. I appreciate it was fun and it's always enjoyable at Euroclub. But there was something that I didn't really get with the staging. They claimed it to be the best thing since, you know, the moon landing or something like that. And it was fine, but I don't know if it was like that amazing. But as I mentioned, like, I was in the minority when it came to opinions on the Netherlands. This went off hard in semi-final 2. I was in the arena for semi-final 2, and the crowd loved it. Honestly, there were so many Dutch fans that enjoyed this, just general fans as well. And it's an interesting what-if scenario as to where this would have finished in the final. My prediction, top 10, but I don't think it would have won. But it is a shame for Netherlands and Jost. Anyway, I should be able to speed through these a bit more now, especially these non-qualifiers. So let's go now. Iceland. Yeah, this was dead on arrival. I'm sorry. It's fine, but Hera's a great singer, but the song's just not there, sadly. Azerbaijan, I really like this as a song. I just don't think the staging was very good. I'm sorry, it fell a bit flat. The vocals weren't pitch perfect, but it's a shame. This is, I think, their worst result in the contest. Right, this is not deserved last in the semi-final. This isn't, I don't think this song was good enough to qualify, but Malta did themselves proud with the staging. It's a real shame because Sarah Benici, massive improvement from the national final. You can tell I'm rushing through these. Albania. Yeah, this was flat. Why do you keep changing your songs into English? Like, I don't know. This was never going to qualify. Sorry. I love San Marino as a song. It was so good. And why wasn't it in slot 11? The staging was too messy. It didn't work. You could barely hear the singer at points. Like, nothing connected. The shock of the contest. Belgium not qualifying. They do this thing every once in a while where it's like 50-50. Sometimes the staging's good, sometimes bad. I'm going to pause it here because I've got to elaborate on Belgium a little bit more because that was the shock non-qualifier of the whole thing, of the contest. I can't speak. Yeah, with Belgium, like the staging I don't think was completely terrible, but it didn't, there was no like big moment. Like the last 30 seconds was just him standing. There was no movement. You know, you need to express yourself a little bit more in that, like he did in the music video. That's why we all thought this is going to do really well. But there was nothing of that there. And once all the 16 songs from semi-final 2, I should say, sorry, were performed, it was like, yeah, Belgium, I can see it not qualifying. I did have it down as a qualifier even till the very end, but man, Belgium really is a coin flip whether they do good staging or not. They're doing a national final again next year. They're switching back to the broadcaster that got Gustav and Because of You, so hopefully they'll improve in 2025. Song-wise, this is Belgium's really good. Musty. I think the vocals were fine as well, but man, it's a real shame because Belgium had a really good song and they mucked it up massively. Side note, I think that was the only topless man that failed to qualify in the entire contest. I think all the other topless men made it through to the final, and topless women as well, actually, as to say, or maybe not topless women. What would you call it? Like, like see-through outfits. Whatever Slovenia wore is what I'm referring to here. You know what I mean. We'll get to Slovenia in a sec, but hitting play again. Now, who would have had Moldova actually higher than Belgium overall? This staging is completely empty. Moldova don't know how to do serious. Like, the song's not that great either. I'm sorry. This is what you get when you do the same staging director as the guy that did Imbers. This makes the song more memorable, the staging for Poland. The song's just there for me, but I can see why I didn't qualify. But with all that diaspora, it's amazing they didn't make it. The country now with the longest non-qualification streak in Denmark. I think the staging's fine. It's one of their better entries in recent years, but it's just not standout enough, sadly. And it's a shame. I wouldn't have minded it in the final, though. Massive improvement from the national final performance from Czechia, but I don't think the song was strong enough, sadly, still. And it wasn't amazing. I can understand why it missed out. Vocals could have been better here from Australia. I really like this song. It's fun. And this actually went quite big in the arena, but it's a shame they just missed out. I'm amazed it was this close. Robbed. How dare you put this in last Europe? This is amazing. Look at Kote. It's so good. I'm gutted this came last. Honestly, such a shame. Second year in a row, the show closers come second to last. I think we all knew this wasn't going to do much, especially with juries. Maybe televote a little bit more in the final, but at least it made it there. Good for Austria. This is what I mean by the outfit, by the way, just for context. Creepy, I must say, Slovenia. It works for some. It's intense. It really draws you in. I think this grew off me as the year went on, but it made the final. Good for them. Okay, so anyone that knows me knows I hate this song. It's the song that relies most on audience participation when it comes to vocals. I don't want to say I'm glad it flopped, but I think it got the result it deserved. This deserved higher. Nuts' vocals are incredible. Like, should have done much better. One of the best girl bops of the year. But overall, let's just be thankful Georgia are back in the final, and they slayed this performance, honestly. I'm just happy this made top 20, especially after coming last in the jury. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this entry. I would have liked it a bit higher. Turns out this wasn't a big as televote hit as we initially thought. Yeah, it's fun, comedic. I'd see it as more a comedy act than a comedy performance, if that makes sense. Like, just to pause there a bit. I see Finland more. The issue I had with Finland is it's fun. It's, you know, you can have a laugh to it, but it's not a comedic musical performance. It's more just a comedic act. It's like a comedy show, which I get is fine for some. Like, I'm not going to complain if you like this. But yeah, it wasn't for me. It felt like they were trying to replicate the success of Kalia, and it wasn't as good, you know. But, you know, 19th made the final. Maybe they might switch it up again next year, because I remember after Blind Channel, they did the Rasmus, and that wasn't as good. So then they switched it up with Kalia, and now they've gone Windows 95 Man, which wasn't as good. So maybe the style will switch it up. Maybe they'll do something more like Sara Sippola. I'm sure that will appease many fans, including myself, actually. I know what's next, by the way, so I am almost certainly going to have to pause it for longer context. But here we go. My country, the UK. At least we came top 20, but 0 points. I personally was not a massive fan of the song. I'm still, and I've got to pause it. So I'm personally not a massive fan of the song. I like it, but I think it could be better, especially with Ollie Alexander. The staging, I thought, really elevated it. I was fine with the like sexual undertones of the performance. Like, it's a gritty sexual song. It matched the staging. I felt like if there were women backing dancers or just a women female singer, this would not nearly be as talked about as much, which is a real shame. Or like, it wouldn't be as controversial as what I mean. Like, people would love it more. I was thankful the juries voted for it. Because, yeah, there was a point where we weren't getting any jury points. Thankfully, they came in near the end. I remember we got 8s from Iceland and Sweden, which was quite nice. I was in the Eurofans Cafe, if any of you know where that is, in the Eurovision Village, and I would celebrate, as any true British fan should do. I celebrated any points we got like we'd won the World Cup. I was like, yes, get in! Yeah, like, it was fun. At least we, you know, left-hand side of the leaderboard for the juries, and yeah, 0 points is a real shame. I get it, because it wasn't the most standout song, but man. 18th, though, I will happily take 18th. That's sadly one of our best results since 2010. I think it's our 4th best result since 2010. So I know we expected more of Ollie Alexander, but considering the strength of the competition this year, it could have been a lot worse. Right, let's resume. Going to Serbia now, they almost failed to qualify for the 2nd year in a row. Thankfully, they qualified, because this is beautiful. I love this song, always did. Yeah, goosebumps here. Very solid 17th position. Good for Latvia. Fair play, we got this one wrong. Like, fair play. No one had this in the qualifying. And this is a really good song. Don's vocals are fantastic. I'm going to pause it slightly. Don's vocals are fantastic. And it really paid off in the end. Good jury score. Decent televote score, considering some of the lower ones down there. We all probably thought Latvia was going to struggle with the televote when it made the final. It qualified safely as well. It wasn't borderline. We got this one wrong. Dons, if you watch this, well, if you do watch this, fair play. Hi, welcome to UC Harry. Fair play, we got this one wrong. Everyone, I think, got this one wrong. And good on Latvia for finally making it back to the final. I always love this song, to be fair. I just didn't think it had a chance, especially in a televote-only system. I was wrong, and most people were wrong. And it's okay to be wrong, even though it's very annoying as someone that's very competitive. Anyway, let's move on. Another one I think most people were wrong with. Maybe not necessarily to get to the final, but I don't think many people had Cyprus this high. Fair play, Celia can really sing for a 17-year-old. Solid result for Cyprus. Oh, I would have liked this to be a bit higher. Sylvester, it's always been a one of my favorite Lithuanian entries of all time. Like, it's such a bop and a mood. Really good, solid 14th, wanted it higher though. Fair play Luxembourg getting back into, I've hit the mic. Fair play Luxembourg getting into the top half of the leaderboard, and they're already confirmed for 2025. I really like this song, it's fun, upbeat. The staging I think matches it, I like the feel of it. Fair play. I know I keep saying fair play. Germany didn't come last, they came 12th top half. Isaac's vocals, and the song itself I think is good. Like, in hindsight, absolutely deserved the position it got. I just doubted it. I was wrong. So I'm one of like the few people that like this staging. Greece has grown on me a lot. I wasn't a big fan at first, but like, I quite like it. I like the feel of it. It's fun. And it bangs at Euroclub. Portugal got top 10! I love this song so much. And thank you, juries. Thank you, UK jury, for giving it 12. This is beautiful. Like, Grito is one of my favorite Portuguese entries of all time and deserved a top 10. Of course, Sweden sneaked their way into the top 10 when no one was really paying attention. It's fun. It's not for me. It's one of my least favorite Swedish entries. I think it lacks a bit of soul. It's more style over substance, especially when it comes to staging. But yeah, solid enough. I would argue the biggest surprise in the top 10 was Armenia, and I'm pleasantly surprised. Massive, a load of fun here. And yeah, you just want to dance to it. It works in any scenario. I'm just going to pause it slightly. Ethnic feel. I paused it and then I've not got much to say on the matter. Ethnic feel, fun. The lead singer's got so much charisma. And yeah, Armenia slowly climbing those ranks again. They had a couple years where they non-qualified, and now they've had 3 years in a row, a viral hit as well, mixed in there with Rosalind. Slowly climbing the ranks. Let's keep an eye out for Armenia. I hope that made sense. In a few years' time. Anyway, who was 7th in the end? I've genuinely forgotten. Oh! I know who 7th was. One of my favourite, possibly my favourite Italian entry of all time. Anyone that watches Vox, you know what, sorry, I'm putting the clip in here. Yes! Yeah, it's one of my favourite entries of all time. Pausing it. I love this song so much. I don't think the staging was as strong as other stagings, potentially in terms of the favourites. 7th is still too low for me. I would have had it much higher. And Angelina Mango's vocals, mwah, they're so good. They are so good. And just the feel, bangs at Euroclub. I mean, a lot of songs this year bang at Euroclub, to be fair. I love it. I think it's fantastic. My favourite Italian entry of all time. Ciao bello, you should be amazingly proud. Speaking of countries that should be amazingly proud, I know who 6th place is. Fair play, Ireland. This staging's the best you've ever done. It's like Bambi, so much creativity. And the song's really grown on me. 6th place. Your best result's no longer Jed winning this century. Amazing. Israel. Okay, so full disclosure, I will be objective in my review here. This would not nearly have got as many points if the circumstances were different. Good vocals, not as high as it should have got. This was a performance. France knows how to stage a ballad. They know how to do it. Yeah, best pausing it. I'm probably gonna have to pause for all three of like all 4 of these remaining ones because this, you know, it's the top 4 at the end of the day. France knows how to stage a ballad. This is so good. Slimaine's vocals, one of, if not the best of the entire competition, and a worthy 4th place, like 2nd in the jury. Actually got higher in the televote than Switzerland by 1 point. Yeah, it's just really good. He's very intense, Slimaine, as well. You didn't necessarily see it in that clip, but he's a very intense guy, looking directly into the camera as I'm doing right now. I love it. It's one of my favorite French entries. It's so good. Yeah, there's not much more to add. It's incredible. We all knew it was going to do well with the jury. And the fact it did very well on the televote as well, 4th in the televote, fair play, France. Hopefully you keep this momentum up again and don't have another mid-table one next year. Is this the best top 3 we've ever had at Eurovision? I think there's a strong argument. Ukraine, no, my favorite Ukraine entry of all time. This is breathtaking, and I'm gonna have to pause it again. You know I'm gonna have to pause it. It's breathtaking, this. So this was initially like my 11th in my ranking. from just the performance in Vidbeer and just the actual song itself. As soon as I got goosebumps then from the first rehearsal TikTok. That's how damn good this staging is. Jerry Hell's vocals are incredible. I refuse to believe she's the same woman that wrote Vegan back in 2020. For those of you who know the song Vegan, you'll know exactly what I'm referring to there. This is so good. Ali Aliona's part, also great. It's incredible. I'm so thrilled it broke the slot 2 curse. I'm so thrilled it got over 300 televotes. Wow. I mean, there's a few other years where that wins. There's a few other years where Ukraine wins and it's a deserving winner. Incredible. There's not much more to add. It will go down for me. I know they've won 3 times, but it will go down for me as one of the most iconic Ukrainian entries of all time. And the meaning behind the song as well. It's just, the whole package is there. It's so good. Oh, I forgot to mention, it started as my 11th. It's up to my 2nd place now. It's phenomenal. It really is. Croatia's best result. I know people wanted this to win. I think they'll take 2nd place. It's the Ukrainian entry. It's the Ukrainian entry. So much fun. So much. Oh, God, these clips are not long enough. Alan Torres, what are you doing to me, man? I know it's copyright reasons, but still. It's, as I said, it's the Ukrainian entry. Whenever you think Croatian entry. Whenever you think of Croatia, you should think about this. Maybe you'll think of their Maria Magdalena. I probably butchered that. Maybe you'll think of that. For the love of God, do not think of Let Free. But Baby Lasagna, Rim Tim Tagidim, it's iconic. It's similar to Kalia in the sense of the feel you get when listening to it. It is not musically similar, but that feeling of just letting go, having fun. I love the message behind the song as well. That goes under the radar. It's a very strong message, and it's a lovely story. And yeah, the dance is iconic. I know that's not in the clip, but you gotta do the dance. You gotta do the dance. Hey, speaking of songs that bang at Euroclub, this is arguably the best Euroclub song in the entire field, because people singing "Whoa." Spoiler: my voice was shattered for half the time I was in Malmo, and it is mainly because of me singing "Whoa" at Baby Lasagna and Tim Tagidim at Euroclub. I saw that you're at Eurovision. Who cares about your voice? Especially when you're a media personality that does stuff for Eurovox and needs it. For those who are not aware, I did one Eurovox video while in Malmo. My voice is screwed for that video. So for reference, feel free to watch it. It's good fun, just listening to my voice. But yeah, I'm so happy for Croatia. Croatian people should be proud. I know they are proud of Baby Lasagna, based on the reaction he got when he returned. Like, fair play. This is what Eurovision's about: turning someone who couldn't do music for a career beforehand, and now that is his life. And I can't wait to see what Baby Lasagna does next. I think he should be amazing. But now we come on to the winner. A surprising winner in the sense it wasn't the odds-on favourite, but Switzerland, what a fantastic song. And you know I'm going to have to pause this at some point, so I'm stalling a little bit there. But just look at his performance, their performance, my apologies, their performance. I'm going to tell you a quick story about this. So as I said earlier, when talking about the UK, I watched the final at the Eurofriends Cafe, or the Eurofans Cafe, sorry, in the Eurovision Village. And I was watching it with with one of my great mates and a few new mates I met along the way. Most of them actually from Eurovision Hub. So yeah, the likes of Mihal, I'm sure you're aware of, Julia, Amir was there, Katie was there, and then my friend Valentine. Now, Valentine, if you're watching this, I apologize for naming you in this, but trust me, you are in a positive light here. Valentine wanted Switzerland to win badly. And every time they got jury points, it was jump up in the air, celebrate. And yeah, so much joy from that. And then the moment Switzerland won, I implore you as a Eurovision fan, I know you can't predict this in advance, but if you can try and do this, watch the final with someone who really wants an entry to win, and that entry ends up winning. It is one of the most beautiful, joyous feelings you can have as a friend and just as a Eurovision fan, seeing the joy on someone's face when their favorite won. To be honest, this was probably my favorite in the end as well, but my friend Valentine, who you can check out on Eurovision Hub, she does, Valentine and the rest of the Eurovision Hub channel do fantastic work across the year. And yeah, just that euphoric feeling that you felt for not only Nemo at the time, but also for your friend as well. It's so special. It is incredibly special. And yeah, shout out to Valentine. I will have to play her this part of the video. Hopefully she doesn't kill me for mentioning her, but she works in, she's part of Eurovision media. I'm sure she's fine. But in terms of the song itself, best staging, best performance, it had the whole package. It had the entire thing. A worthy winner. I can completely understand why I got so many jury points, and it did well enough in the televote to win. The televote winner does not have to win the whole thing, guys. Switzerland more than deserving winner. And yeah, I know it's a beaten joke, but the only downside is gonna be pretty expensive to go to Switzerland next year. That's a concern. Also, the memes of them spinning around on the podium like you're waiting for your meal in a microwave. That's hilarious. That's brilliant. That shot though, when Nemo is lying back on the podium, the disc thing, at the final chorus, there's your winning shot. It's one of the most iconic. I think it will go down as one of the most iconic shots of Eurovision history. And it's a symbolic winner as well. The first person to identify as non-binary to win the whole thing. That has meaning behind it, especially considering what the song is about. So, fantastic winner, and there's not much else to say. Like, fair play, Switzerland. Fair play. So that will do it for this reaction video to Eurovision 2024, the results. Hope you guys liked it. I hope you liked my little insights. I did my best with how long the clips were and just giving you a bit of extra detail where I felt necessary. Let me know what you think about this style of video. There will be more different styles and themes of video coming on this channel, whether it be in the immediate future or just in the future for future Eurovisions. I've said future far too many times, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said earlier on, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more. I really want to grow this channel, so if you like this video as well, share it around with your mates. Or if it's not necessarily this one you want to share around my comedy sketch as well, every country's reaction to Eurovision 2024. I would have left a thing here somewhere, or like in the description, or you'll be able to see that video somewhere if you haven't seen it yourself, or you want to just share it around with people. But yeah, let me know what you think. What were your favorites of Eurovision 2024 as well? Did your favorites qualify? Did your favorites get top 10? Or did your favorite even win the whole thing? Let me know what you thought, and I will see you guys next time for another video on the ESC Harry channel. Take care, guys.